working on an endorsement for me too. So I just keep plugging away every day at it, and I have a lot of confidence that I can do this.
Would you have anything else that you'd like to add, or any questions that you might have for us?
Got any money? No, I've attended a few of the meetings down at the Silverdale Community Center, and you know, there's a lot of press out there that talks about the Tea Party people being a really whacked out, right-wing, antagonistic group of people, and I don't find that in this group at all. I think it's a collection of, all across the board, of professional blue-collar people in Kitsap County who are fed up with all of the things that we've been talking about here. I appreciate what they're doing. Some of those gals are spending every waking hour of their life pushing this agenda forward, and the country needs people like that. We've sat on our hands too long, I think. We've let this happen to ourselves by continuing to just vote party lines. I saw a woman on Bainbridge Island the other day, and she said, well, I always vote Democrat. I said, well, do you know who your Democratic representative is in the 23rd District? And she says, no, I don't need to. I just vote Democrat. And I just handed her my stuff. I said, would you please go to my website and check out some of my philosophy and the history of why I'm doing this. And there's others on the other side too that will only vote Republican. And they tell me that. I said, well, please, can I just talk to you for a second? You know, thank you for your vote, but you need to take a little bit more of a look at what's going on, because we've gone this far down this path because we've let it happen. And I thank the Lord for my health that I can do this. I think my mind is sharp enough, and I have experiences. I was in the United States Coast Guard for almost 22 years. Interestingly enough, and you see a lot of the Coast Guard stuff on TV right now, and you only see them when things are bad. But when I joined in 1964, there was 31,000 people in the Coast Guard. Today, there's only 41,000. Doing all of that work, building those ships. The budget for the United States Coast Guard was $10 billion last year, and Obama has just asked them to take $1 billion off of it. But $10 billion to run the United States Coast Guard for 1 year is less than a third of what we asked the citizens of Washington State to pay to run this state. The missions are very, very different, but if the Coast Guard can take 41,000 people, which is 800 more than the New York Police Department, and do all of the missions that they can do in the world, and keep the ships running, and keep smiles on their faces, and be happy guys and girls, there's no reason why a state government can't trim a little bit here and there and get a job done. I'm happy. One of my officers candidate classmates has just been promoted to Vice Commandant of the Coast Guard, the #2 officer, and her name is Sally Bryce. She's the highest ranking female ever in the United States Coast Guard.
Wow.
And I used to run 5 miles in the morning at 5 o'clock with her every day. So I see good things ahead for the state if we can just turn the ship around a little bit. But we need some new blood. I'm listening to some of these, you know, I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat, replace them. I think we need to look at that a little bit more. I recognize this from knowing, I've known Jan Angel for 25 years. You really don't get a whole lot done in your first term down there, you know, and I would think that if people are thinking about replacing every incumbent, they need to really look at how long they've been an incumbent. I see the ones that are, you know, 8, 10, 12 terms and complacent and entrenched. Maybe people will be looking at that, but I intend to win this race, and I intend to run again in 12. And at that point, when that term is up, I'll be 70 years old, and we'll see what happens after that. I'd still like to sail in the Caribbean a little bit. But, anyhow, I thank you for your time.
I wanted to
Thank you.
compliment you that your presentation is very positive. You didn't badmouth other people. You didn't complain about all the problems. You just said, here's what I think should be done. And I think that's a really good, positive approach to the campaign. I wish you well. I hope it works.
Yeah, I haven't, you know, the day before I made my announcement in January, and it was 3 days before the session started, I took Sherry Appleton out to lunch and told her what I was gonna do. And I said, you are going into probably the worst legislative session that any representative has ever been into from a budgeting standpoint. And if there's and I know that you've probably heard rumors that I might be running, if there's something in your head that's distracting you from anything you have to do because you're wondering if whether or not Pete's gonna run against you, I just wanna let you know that it's the truth. I'm going to. And she really appreciated that. And then went on to tell me about how fortunate we are because of all the regulations that make sure that the salad that we're eating is pure and fine and it's been inspected and that the water that comes out of the faucet should have dollar signs on it. And I told her that some of the best meals in my life I've ever had have been in like Jamaica and Barbados where I don't think they have all those things. So, but anyhow, I think we can get along with some fewer and more sensible regulations in this state.
Amen. I think a positive campaign rather than a
Yeah, I don't need to
campaign is
Very
a
good
more
point.
appealing approach.
Thank you.
There's
Yes.
this.
Thank you very much. We
Okay.
appreciate it.